Hey guys, Mighty Gazelle here, back with more reading the My Hero Academia manga. This is chapter 375, titled Chaotic Confusion. The first page we have is at the Froppy location with Toga and Uraraka. We'll dive into that in a second. For the second chapter in a row, I'm doing the official translations for my reaction. Reason being is, in the past, other than the last 5 or 6 chapters, for whatever reason, and this isn't the fault of TCB scans or whatever. I'm sure they have. They're all volunteers, and I can't thank them enough for everything they do. The unofficials used to go up at a pretty reliable time, like 1 to 2 a.m. my time, and it was manageable for me to stay up and wait for those versions. And then this last Friday, I stayed up, and it just got way too late, and I have work. I have things that I do outside of YouTube, so it just wasn't feasible for me, so I just waited a couple extra days to do the officials. Hope you guys understand. And so here I am at 7 a.m. on a Sunday. And yeah, feeling good. But if I look kind of groggy or whatever, it's because I just woke up recently, so... all the same, though, very excited to see what this chapter has to offer. Last we left off, madness. I mean, Horikoshi loves his cliffhangers, man. So he left with Dabi getting teleported to Endeavor and All for One, and saying "Hi, Dad," and then we see the Twice clones. So we know that Toga drank twice his blood, and we saw him holding what looked like Froppy's goggle, which looking at this first page, it looks exactly like the goggle. So now it looks like we're gonna find out what happened. We have black borders here, so that typically means it's a flashback or something in the past. So I'm very eager to see how they you guys know, I'm not the biggest Toga fan. I'm just not. And I know. Every time I say this, I get people coming out of the woodwork saying, I just don't understand her character. There's been good setup for her, and it makes total sense. And I get that. Now, I've tried to wrap my head around it, and I either am at the point where I just don't find it interesting to me personally, or it's just too convoluted the way that it's been set up for her to where it doesn't really pique my interest. That said, what I am very curious and excited to see is her transformation into Twice, because her whole deal is becoming people that she loves, and that's her way of not only being happy but just expressing herself. And Twice, who is she closer to in this world than Twice? So I'm sure that when that happens, it's going to be a very emotional and impactful moment. I'm really curious to see how her quirk fuses with Twice's, and et cetera, et cetera. I've rambled on long enough, so sorry. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but maybe you listen to me in the car ride home or something, and I'm sort of like a podcast. We'll just dive on in. Okuto Island, Uraraka and Asui versus Toga. We get a shot of... That's a great shot, by the way. It's a shot of the island that they're at. In the distance, you see the storm clouds that are coming in, which we know now is from the 3 different heat locations in the battlefield, which is extremely badass that they're causing so much heat that it's making storm clouds. A little dust flying around. And like I said before, we have Froppy in the shallow water with Toga diving behind. In the background, there's a whole bunch of heroes and villains fighting each other. Yeah, chaotic confusion. So far, it's very chaotic here. Froppy, shouts Uraraka. Make sure I clicked that right. There we go. All right. Now that I'm doing the official versions, I'm going to try my best to not view the next page beforehand. I'll just keep it off. So Uraraka dives between Toga and Froppy because Froppy was about to get pounced on from behind, and she tackles Toga midair. Her trick for concealing her presence is basically a piece of misdirection. Still, I must be a complex and nuanced move. Well, hold on. Let me get out of this like full on view. It's not working with me. There we go. Sorry. Again, I'm like kind of waking up still a little bit. So there's got to be a limit to how many attackers she can evade at once as she grabs one of the knives with her hand. And I don't know if it's not like clear. It looks like she tosses Toga away. Maybe she puts some zero gravity on her and tosses her. I'm not sure. It isn't really very odd. Keep on her with a sensor type hero and a group of at least 4 who can back each other up. I'm assuming this was orders that she had or something. Himiko Toga, get back here, shouts Uraraka. Gang Orca shouts, this big guy doesn't have hyper regeneration. Oh, shit. Wow. Okay, so the Nomu they're fighting doesn't... Interesting. I don't know if we've ever had a high-end Nomu that didn't have regeneration. I'm surprised this one survived the first war without having that. Okay, very interesting, though. That's good for them. That's good news. The villains' numbers are thinning too. Pin down the near high end. We've got this in the bag. As we see just a bunch of like, I can't tell. It looks like lasers are coming from the Nomu. Like the parts. Wait, is this 2 different Nomu? One looks like the one that it's like a giant open mouth, and the other one looks like a different one that Gang Orc is attacking. Maybe it's one, but it looks like there's 2 different Nomu here. They're shredding them apart, though. It looks like the heroes have the upper ground in terms of the combat. Taking down these creeps while they're still on this island is our mission, as we get a close-up shot of Toga, looking very fierce with her mask on. I think the mask looks pretty sick, personally. Toga thinks to herself, the more people we lose on our side, the slimmer my chances of avoiding capture become. And the amount of Jean's blood I've got will only give me 30 to 40 minutes of transformation time. That's a lot, considering it doesn't look like that much blood. Interesting. I wonder if she evolved her quirk to use less blood. I don't know. Interesting. Okay. Sure, I could drink it down now and take back the numbers advantage, but then Sadman's parade would end on this isolated island, she thinks to herself. Up until this point, Himiko Toga's actions, we get a narration box, were rarely driven by any sort of big picture strategizing. Oh, does that mean she's actually... Oh, yeah, it's crazy. She actually is, like, strategizing. That's not really her MO, right? Wow. Good point by the in-universe narrator. I'm not sure whose voice they'll use for this. I guess maybe, like, Uraraka. We're rarely driven by any sort of big picture strategizing. Even if we could turn things around here, I doubt they left any boats docked on the island, which would be our only shot at getting away. Divide and isolate. Did the heroes know about Jean's blood? Either way, I'm helpless here. The way things are going, it's all over. Okay, so very quick before I begin, I had a lot of speculation in my head on how her quirk would mesh with Twice's, and it seems here we have confirmation that the 30 to 40 minutes of transformation, that seems to be the limit. So basically, and she's even saying if I use it now, the last of Jean Bubagawara, the last of Twice, Sadman's Parade, however you want to say it, will die on this island. Which it leads me to believe that even if like she became Twice and made a bunch of clones and her time ran out, those clones would disappear. That's what I thought would happen, but we had people in the comment section saying that it wouldn't happen, but this leads me to believe that once her own transformation is done, the clones will also go. Because we weren't sure, because when Twice died, people thought it was Twice dying that made the clone disappear. There's a lot of like controversy around that. There's no real clarification, but it seems to be that is the case, where if the host goes or loses whatever, so goes the clones. However, in that case, her rancor, in recent coming to terms, as we get more like black background flashbacks, I'll do what I'm meant to do and bet on Spinner. As she's about to drink the blood. Okay. All right. Completed her transformation into a full-fledged villain. Okay. I am very curious to see like how they handle this emotional thing. Like she's becoming the deceased, like not I don't want to say lover. Like Twice loved her. She, I think, viewed him more as like a sincerely dear friend, you know? Like the closest of friends. Like he basically, I think he was like friend zoned essentially. But I'm really curious here. Cutting to Froppy. There it is. Some blood she had saved. All for ones? Shigaraki's? Who could it be? Okay, so they suspected that she had blood of some kind. Better not wait around to find out as she shoots her tongue out and destroys the vial. I mean, obviously, we know that this is kind of a red herring or like a fake out because she does eventually turn to Twice. So, what is this? Um, Always so level headed, Suyu. That was a decoy. Yeah, okay. I figured as much. Because clearly she turns into Twice, so that seemed like a very strange fake out, but alright. That was a decoy, she says. A decoy filled with a chemical that attracts Nomu, courtesy of All for One. Wow. Holy shit. So it's gonna attract the Nomu over to her? Damn, All for One having some big brain 440 chess moves over here. Cutting to the Nomu attacking her with spikes or whatever it is he like shoots out of his body. That's the one that Gang Orca's attacking that has like the projectiles that are floating around him. Froppy! Shouts Uraraka. Whoa, what? Oh, whoa. So it looks like Toga drank Froppy's blood right now after she got hurt and transformed into her, and she's like holding her? Really weird. I guess I'll just talk up to Toga being Toga. To make sure that Jean's parade gets to march without fail, I have to make an instant decision. And then, oh, now she's drinking the blood. Okay. All right. Oh, what? Wait. Oh, man. Okay. Little lame. Okay, so it just cuts from her drinking the blood, appearing as Sue, and then she's already Jean in the next panel, and she's making clones. I don't know. I come on, you could have made like a really maybe it's just me who's like romanticizing that sort of moment, right? Oh, I don't know. I was kind of let down. That Rancor brought about a miracle. So this is when the portal's opening up in front of her Twice clones. And Uraraka is looking shocked here. Must save Shigaraki and his allies as we get Kurogiri appearing in the warp gate. Himiko Toga, what do you want to do? This is where we get a flashback of Hawk stabbing Twice in the back. And then she says, as Twice, to slaughter the heroes. Starting with Hawks. Okay, so this is why she teleports to Hawks. Okay. Send me out there, Kurogiri. Oh my god. Okay. So she's got a hellbent revenge going on here. And that's why she goes there. Okay, interesting. Oh, there's just so many things. I'll save my like speculations to the end. Let's just keep going. I am a little bit disappointed. Like you could have made a really big deal out of her transforming into Twice, and then it's just like boom. She's like it cuts from her drinking the blood to her already being Twice and making the clones. There's no like I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I was expecting more from that, but okay. So Toga going through the portal, Uraraka dives and shoots her like little whip things out of her wrist and shouts, "Get back here!" And all the Twice clones like kick and knock the little whips out of the way as they go through the portal. We still haven't had our chat about romance. Uraraka shouts. Uraraka plotline, ladies and gentlemen. I really like Uraraka as a character. I can't believe this is what they gave like for her final arc like story with Toga. Maybe we'll see where it goes. I don't want to poo-poo on it too much, but we still haven't had our chat about romance, she shouts. Froppy says, "Oh, Chaco." And then we cut to the Twice clones who are halfway through the portal, and they kind of pause. Okay, so maybe this could go somewhere. They pause, ... I wish we could have. Oh, so they're just straight up not going to? This is very odd to me. This is going odd places. Gunga Mountain Villa Ruins. Okay, so we're back at the Prime All for One location, which I'm still very excited about. Let's see what happens. And so now that was the end of the black panel, by the way. So now we're in the present. That was what happened leading up to the portal. Now we're in the present. Okay. Gunga Mountain Villa Ruins. It's Toga with Bubagawar's blood. She had some saved up? When I infiltrated the Liberation Army, I was sure to eliminate every last sample, even the traces after the battle. Hawks thinks to himself, was this Dobby's doing? Yes, it was. Maybe you should think about the body that you left behind. Wait. I was sure to eliminate even the traces after the... Well, I mean, after yeah, there's a pretty big window where you were like burnt to a crisp and like Dobby was still there by the body. Anyway, oversight by you Hawks, but yeah, that is what happened. Too late, says. I'm just gonna, for the sake of it, I'm gonna say twice, even though it's Toga as twice. Which I can't. It's gonna be so weird. I imagine they'll get the voice actor for Twice to come back for this, right? And then like he's voicing his character who's dead but is back as like a clone. Oh, mind games, man. Infinite doubles, Sad Man's Parade. Oh my god. Oh my god, what a shot. Wow. Okay, this is in the oh my god. No more rainy, or no more clear blue sky complaints anymore. Cloudy day, raining, and there's Sad Man's Parade just pouring out, and you have Dobby flying through the air too. Dude, oh, this is gonna look so sick. You have Endeavor and Dobby in the rain. Imagine the fire, like the fire as the rain drops on. I'm like, tss, tss. Oh, that's gonna be so sick. I'm sorry, I'm like geeking out thinking about it. Just a huge shot here of the whole battlefield. Okay, so man, the heroes here are so screwed. As we get a terrified look on Hawks, and we get Mushroom Girl. They're not giving us a second to breathe. Shroom. Why does she have to say shroom? It's like Froppy saying ribbit after everything. Like, don't play into your own damn stereotype. Cutting back to Uraraka. I ain't losing sight of you, not again, shouts Uraraka, as Froppy seems to wrap her tongue around her arm and launch Uraraka forward through the portal. Just in time. Dang. Wait a second. You're gonna put Uraraka in this setting? Hold up. Ochako, the feelings you've locked up inside. Okay. I had my complaints earlier on in this chapter about like the Toga turning into Twice thing, but this is kind of delicious. What a strange stew of just plot lines we're getting here. This shot says it all. If I had a bingo card like for a drinking game, and one of the squares was Dobby, Endeavor, Uraraka, Prime All for One, and Hawks at the same battlefield, and Toga with Twice clones. Yo, that is so batshit crazy and out of left field. I kind of love it. I actually kind of love it. What is Uraraka gonna do here? And then Froppy saying, Ochaka, the feelings you've locked up inside, alluding to the fact that she knows something that Uraraka hasn't shared. And then at the bottom, we're getting a flashback of that weather girl who was saying like, all it takes is one person to like stand up or something. I can't remember what her quote was. That's the end of the chapter. I really quick, let me see. Go back to My Hero Academia. Okay, so there's no break according to Viz. Wow. It doesn't even say end of chapter though. How odd. Usually just says like end of chapter. Like it doesn't even have to say like next week, the new chapter. It'll just say like end. Really quick, so it's cutting to the weather girl, right? It's showing a silhouette of her. Let me really quickly check what her exact quote was again. This was 2 weeks ago, so I don't remember. Let me see. All right. So the panel that they're referencing to exactly is can the flap of a butterfly's wings in Brazil really bring about a hurricane in Texas? Is the fate of our superpowered society, which began with a single glowing baby, to descend into utter chaos? The power of a single man can change the world. I stand firmly opposed to the government's decision or the world's decision. Where are you going with this, Horikoshi? That is so interesting. Really weird chapter. Great ending. I kind of love the chaos of just throwing. This shot, I can't get over this shot of these 5 characters it's about to focus on. You have Dobby, who's looking like a skeleton. Like he's straight up like, I don't even think he has eyelids anymore. I think they're like burned away. You just see a giant eyeball, and then like he doesn't even have lips or like gums and cheeks. It's just like the jaw. And he's just diving in. Endeavor is like still extremely effed up. So he lost an arm. He got like a lung collapsed or something. Like he's, oh my god. And then you have Uraraka in the middle, who's, I don't know if she realizes what she's diving into here. I'm sorry. Maybe it's because it's early in the morning, but I'm just like, holy shit, this is kind of cool. And then you have Prime All for One. Who's using rewind, and he's just grinning here. And then you have Hawks grabbing his last katana. I think his other sword broke. Who's like almost out of feathers. He's beat up himself. And then you have Sadman's Parade for a good 30 to 40 minutes, according to her. Okay, predictions, Mighty. Predictions. Where are we going with this? All right. So I've already said my piece on like it seems really odd that they set up that whole location at that water place, and it's almost like they're like, okay, we're out of here, bye. Like I don't know if there was like a change of plans or whatever. I'm not going to speculate, but that just felt odd to me, and I wasn't really a fan of her transforming just like that into twice. He looks sick, like back, like it's cool to have him back, really cool. But let's talk about the important things here. The battlefield. Okay. So clearly, I was wrong when I was doubting Uraraka's like plot line, because it seems to be that is going to still continue according to Froppy's little hint. Saying, "Oh, hey, Chaco, like the feelings that you've had, like deep down, locked up inside." Like clearly they're gonna come full circle here, and she's gonna kind of like have a talk. I don't know who you talk to though. Like, can you talk to any of the Twice clones? Like, are they all Togas? The questions, the logistics behind this are crazy. And in theory, here's the crazy part. Okay, in theory, she could copy All for One, which is just like crazy. And I don't even want to know what a world of like a million All for Ones. Granted, they'd be using rewind. It's the thing of Twice. It just like blows the mind. And then like Toga mixed in, it just makes my head hurt. I'm like the possibilities of it. But the heroes are kind of screwed here, and what I think is going to happen, what I think they're alluding to, so I think two things, okay? I know this video is kind of long. It's at 25 minutes. I haven't had a long chapter reaction in a while. This is only 15 pages, so it's kind of a shorter chapter, but I have a lot to talk about. Two things I think that are going to happen. One, I think that Toga and Uraraka are going to have their, like, heart-to-heart talk. And I'm not going to say that, like, Toga is going to turn good. That's not what I think. I think that something is going to happen to where the Twice army won't be such an overwhelming thing for the heroes necessarily, or at least maybe they'll be kind of pushed aside as a factor. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I'm curious to see where that goes. But, and you guys are going to hate me for this because, like, I'm going to sound like a mad lad because I just always have to just say this. I have a hunch, a suspicion that the reason they keep cutting to the United States, right? They keep cutting to the United States, and so far it hasn't led to anything. It's just been like random little dribs and drabs. It started with Akbar talking to the president saying, like, we need to go help. And the president being like, I don't know, like, we should bend the knee to Shigaraki. And then obviously you could say, oh, that was just a tie-in for the whole sacrificing stuff with, like, leading, like, doing it for the next generation, because that's what it tied in with the bakugo scene. But when the weather girl came in, it clarified that ultimately the government decided no, they wouldn't send any more help. And she went on to say, like, I think the fate of, like, a single person, or that the choice of a single person can make a difference, right? And here we are, like, all this crazy shit's happening right here, and Uraraka is getting flung in. You have these random cast of characters here at this battlefield, which has suddenly become, like, the most intriguing battlefield by far. I'm sorry, Shigaraki and Deku, and even Gigantomachia with Kirishima and Mina. This is such a batshit crazy stew of just characters and plot lines. Where do you even start? Like, Dabi versus anyway, that was the one thing. The second thing is what I'm leading to. Sorry, I'm all over the place. What I'm leading to is I could totally see this being a tie-in to, like, some people from the United States coming to help regardless of the government's decisions, because they keep bringing it up, right? Please, oh my God, have Koichi and Captain Celebrity fly in. Please. I know it sounds crazy. I know it does. And I'm most likely going to be wrong. I'm like 98% sure I'm going to be wrong. But why else do they keep alluding to the United States perspective on things and, like, giving us little bits of information about, oh, the government, like, we should send help. No, we shouldn't send help. And then they ultimately decide to not send help. But then you have this reporter who's, like, saying on the news to the U.S. population, like, the choices of a single person can make a difference. It's almost like trying to spur people to act, even though the government said no. And I really think that, like, Koichi could heed the call, you know? It's his home. I don't know. I'm crazy, I know. But I think that there's a reason they keep with the subplot. There has to be, right? Anyway. Great. This is, I wouldn't say great chapter. It's a really good chapter. It was shorter. It leads to a lot of fun things and my own crazy suspicions too. So yeah, this was fun. This was a fun one. I had some flaws with it. I don't think the transformation scene was given the gravitas. I think it kind of, like, a Twice's death was given such grandiose awesomeness to it and sadness. But he's now back in our lives, and it was just kind of like, oh, hey, he's back. But as Toga. Like, it just needed that, like, one panel, like, to really be like, Yeah. I have become like my deceased best friend. Heavy stuff, man. We didn't get that. That's just me. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. So yeah, these are the official translations, and ideally I'd like to do the unofficial ones just because they come out sooner, and I know you guys, like to hear my thoughts sooner. So apologies, but if they don't come out early enough, I won't be able to record them because I can't stay up super late. I have a life outside of YouTube, so. Hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, this has been Mighty Gazelle, hoping you all have a mighty day. See you guys.